Hello, hello. Hi, Aunt Julie. Miss you so much too. Sorry, I've been gone so long. God, you know what's the most depressing thing you can do is not watch the news for a week and then have to catch up on it. I do not suggest anyone ever do that ever. The last 48 hours of my life has been probably the most depressing. Hi, welcome, or welcome me back. I don't know. It's great to see you all. Let me just get things set up on YouTube and Twitch and X, and then we'll get this party started. Tap the screen, share the live. If you would like to buy some subs, please do. I'm trying to get back to 400. I just need to make. Oh, I think we are live on Twitch. I just need to get us live on YouTube, and then we're gonna get going. I know I missed you. Where do you? Yeah, you think you missed me until I have to deliver all this information. It's so gross what's going on in the world. Hey, Leah. Hey, Steph. Oh my God, what am I doing? I'm typing in something that doesn't exist. Give me one more second. Okay, we are live on YouTube and I can see it. Yay, Steph, Leah, I missed you guys. Sorry I've been gone so long. It's just twice a year my sister comes from Texas to Phoenix and we haven't had the best relationship and she's like, you need to be present. And like, I'm just being a good sister. And I actually I've talked about it. My sister's kind of like an anti-vaxxer. I mean, there's Christian, then there's like the far right evangel. She's like far right, even. I mean, not in political views, just very religious. So it's hard for me to really get on board with her. But I love her children. Like her husband's like a former semi-pro downhill skier, like former lumberjack from Oregon, who's super super coordinated. So they have these two boys that are just amazing at sports. So it's like my little sports team. Like any game we want to play, we went indoor skydiving. We went to every zoo, every science museum, every science center. Like it's fun to have a little sports team that can do all the stuff you can do and have fun doing it. It's just, yeah. Then I got a little sick. Like my niece who's sick, she's adorable, but she got me very sick. It reminds me of what happened to me in the last week, reminds me of what happened to me in my first year of teaching, where I either had strep or the flu every month, once or twice. Like that's what happened to me. So, anyways, it's good to hang out with family, but also great to go back around adults and have adult conversations with adults who aren't, only quoting the Bible and creationism and talking about how vaccines are medically unsafe when they factually are not, that kind of stuff. And then there's my narcissist mother who tried to manipulate everyone the whole time. I have gone through it. Every time my sister comes to town, it's like reliving our childhoods. Like my mother's like, time to manipulate my daughters. It's awful, but also nice because I love my niece and nephew. There, a petri dish, exactly. Exactly. If anyone ask any teacher about their first year of teaching, and they'll tell you how sick they were. Like you be around a class of little kids and you'll find out how sick you get. That's how I feel my last week was. I was like, oh yes, kids just sneeze in your face and they do not apologize for it. They're just like, I sneezed and I don't wash my hands. It was just a reminder. I know. Let's get this party started though, because I have so much to talk about. Okay, so I've made essentially three presentations. Well, two, let's say. But I wanted to make sure I got, because the one thing I was caught up on is what's going on in California with Gavin Newsom, putting on his big boy pants and attacking Trump relentlessly. So I want to make sure while we're all listening to some depressing, weird distractions from Trump being in the Epstein files and being a pathological liar and the economy being absolutely driven into the ground and all the weird things Trump keeps doing to distract from that while also continuing to manipulate, amass his personal fortune and erode democracy, that we also have some hope. Ex- Great. California here to vote. Exactly. What is the bill? Eradicate? We'll get into it. I have clipped a lot of Gavin Newsom and what's going on with Gavin Newsom, which we'll get to, but I want to get into some unfortunate Trump stuff first. But let me show you guys something. I think if you guys haven't heard about this, which I'm sure everyone has by now, I highly suggest you follow this account, which is, it's almost like Gavin Newsom hired me as his social. If I was Gavin Newsom's social media manager, this is what I would be doing. Like, I mean, so Gavin Newsom has been using this account to just rip Donald Trump's life in half. Like, and just make him feel like a tiny, tiny man. And I love how the media is like, why are you doing this? Why are you being mean to Trump? And Gavin Newsom's like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing nothing other than what Trump has been doing? And no one says anything to him about it. Like, it's absolutely delusional. Like, that the media is like, why is Gavin Newsom being mean to Trump? Like, Trump is a pathological, lying, delusional, like insecure weirdo who bullies, who literally punches down 24 hours a day out of pure insecurity. And then they question what Gavin Newsom's up to. But I'm just showing you, if you don't follow this account, I'm sure it's all across the internet. I'm not saying go get an X account, but it is fun to watch MAGA, whose brains don't work at all on X, try to just fathom what's going on. Like, it's like they're all like, what's happening on this account on X is like MAGA says dumb things, and that this account basically is like, here's why you're an idiot. It is one of the most entertaining things I've ever witnessed in my life. Here, as long as they loaded, like, let me just show you a couple. Like, here's a person that said, man, that whole no kings thing, like the no kings protests, lasted about 5 minutes, didn't it? And tagged Gavin Newsom's account. This was the response. The joke, you. And this is like happening 24 hours a day. Dumb people say dumb things. You know, like, I've heard a lot of one of my favorite like things that MAGA men say on X is play stupid games, get stupid prizes, which is the most ironic thing because nobody is dumber than MAGA. Now than computers. You're supporting a guy who's robbing you, is literally an idiot. None of you can read and or do basic mathematics, and you're accusing other people of being stupid. And I would say that this account is basically like an homage to the stupidity of MAGA now. It's just like, are you okay? Like, oh, you can't read. Just making sure you cannot read. Every minute of this account is just like, what? But also calling out lies. And I think I'll get into more of this. Like I said, I have 2 presentations, like when I think it was Thursday before Trump decided to go blow Putin while we all watched on Friday, right? Gavin Newsom did a rally, and I do have that all clipped. But he is on a press tour to rival Donald Trump's, which is what you need to do. Donald Trump puts on a 24-hour reality show of lies that needs to be combated. And, essentially Gavin Newsom is finally trying to combat that. Sorry, I just saw total BJ. How pathetic. Exactly. I mean, both hands and his mouth, like, just... The kids can't see this, Trump. Like, do it somewhere where the kids can't watch. Like, I've never seen a more pathetic display in my life. And insecure MAGA men are like, nailed it. Yeah, of course you think that. You would. You're on your knees for a guy who's on his knees for someone else. Like, how far down the embarrassment chain are you when you are a MAGA man?
How could our listeners who either in California or around the country who want to help, is there a place they can go yet, or is that still to come?
Yeah, we have a website up for people to take a look at, and just, and you can see right behind me, quite literally, Election Rigging Response Act is quite literally the name of the initiative. It will have an actual numeric once the legislature moves forward as early as next Thursday, when a number of pieces of legislation will land on my desk, the constitutional amendment and the special election moving directly forward on November 4th. But look, this is an opportunity to be for something, not just against someone. This is an opportunity to protect our democracy, the enduring values that many of us were taken for granted for the last 249 years, co-equal branches of government, popular sovereignty, rule of law, not rule of Don. And it's an opportunity to participate. You have the power, your voice, choice, show up, contribute, and participate. This is a big damn deal, because if the most un-Trump state in America can't do this, we're in real peril as a nation. And our democracy, I really believe, may not recover if he rigs the midterms and gives him complete unfettered power with no oversight into 2020.
It's like, no one should have to say this. I mean, we do have to say it because no one can read or do math, on the right. So hopefully somebody who can read or do math on the right starts listening and then looks into this and shares it with the rest of the idiot males who can't figure out what's going on. Like, I could list for every way you're like, well, some brown people and rainbow flags ruin this country, so now we're just taking back what's ours, while you're also being robbed. While you're mathematically being robbed, you are taking back what's yours, but you've been robbed. Like, it does not make... Oh, we're spamming the chat. Oh, good Lord. It's like kindergarten here. Let me do this because I'm not in the mood. I requested you to come up and say something of value. You can do that because you're also being muted. Are you as dumb as you seem? I'm guessing. Why are you not up here? Why are you not up here? What is that person's Indio Mojo 6? Why are you not up here making... I just requested you to come up here and dispute anything of which I said. My advice is to bring math and actual primary sources. That's just friendly advice. Here, let me help you again. I sent you another invite to get up here and say something of substance. We are waiting, India Mojo 6, for you to say something that matters. Oh, also turn your camera on, because it's come to my attention recently that everybody on MAGA side says that I don't look good and then looks like absolute trash. So also turn your camera on whilst you are saying it. Yeah, where is that person? Do you need another invite to get up here and make a case for yourself? Most people, there's a lot of people that want to come up here. It's the strangest thing. Insecure weirdos say, I don't know what I'm talking about, but then when given the opportunity, they don't come up here. Strange. MAGA cowards. Crawl back into your hole. Well, I don't want that. I would like you to learn to read and do math and recognize who's robbing you, but you know what I'm saying. No, I'm just saying, if you read the amount, I don't know. No one was around 2 weeks ago. Someone who was harassing me for 2 years on the internet finally turned his camera on and he was like, it was not good. And I'm like, really? Me? And I'm not on the internet to prove I'm good looking. I just know I am. And some people know that about me, some people don't, but I am objectively good looking. If you see me on the street, trust me, all my MAGA neighbors constantly are trying to sleep with me. I know I'm good looking. I love when people are like, you're okay looking. Yeah, you can think whatever you want to think, but in the streets, everyone's trying to F me. So, yeah, you're okay looking, cool. Wait, who? Hold on. Sorry. I'm just not. Hold on. Oh, so hard up to grift. Yeah, this is how insecure people are. I get what people are saying. Hold on, let me mute this because I'm not. We're not here to. Okay, I sent you a request, so you can come up here. Thank you for the gift. And also, this is my Cash App and Venmo. If you would like to, Atticus accused me of grifting, which is the opposite of what I'm doing. Atticus, your internet's not working. I hope. There you are. What did you accuse me of?
I said you're so hard up for ops that you're reading the comments. You're so hard up to get
hold on. I
people
don't debate on this
in the
live.
box.
Oh my God. Okay, so Atticus, bless your insecure Delulu
You don't
heart.
debate on this live.
This is not a debate live, weirdo. Yeah, it's called the People's Receipts. I'm a former historical researcher. This is
So
where
then
I
why
present.
are you talking
This is
about
where
MAGA?
up. Not your time. You were wrong. So now
Wow.
now you are going to receive information from me. This show is called The People's Receipts. I'm a former historical researcher, also Division I volleyball player, but that's another show. And here I use secondary and primary sources to show people, to follow lines of logic.
I was a Division I baseball player too.
I let you make up a bunch of lies about me in the comments. So now you get to receive information. No, I don't debate on this show.
I didn't make up
but
any
when
lies about you.
people are
Made up no lies.
pathologically insecure and wrong about me, sometimes as a former teacher as well. Yes, I used to be an elementary school teacher. So I do look at comments because I think questions are important. If you had taken early childhood development classes, you would understand how to educate people as well.
I can't hear you because your Wi-Fi is so terrible.
Not done. Oh, yeah. I just have the most expensive router. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Except for, nothing about Wi-Fi. So that's not true. Not finished. So anyways, I also used to be an elementary school teacher. I took early childhood development. Oh, he ran. I took early childhood development classes. And what this show really is like, when I was in school, I had a lot of trouble learning because I had ADHD, right? And so it's interactive learning, right? Yes, I do read the comments. I want people to know that what they're saying matters. I want, when someone says something interesting that I never thought of, I want to acknowledge it, right? Like, I want to interact with other humans. I would run too if I was as dumb as you are, but do come back and shame yourself another time, sir. It never gets old of white men having no idea what they're talking about and coming up and telling me about myself. Confused white men do keep saying things that make no sense. We never get enough of mediocre white men spewing nonsense, do we? Oh, he has the smallest hands, probably smaller than Trump's. That's why he's like, oh, another guy with small hands that has no idea what he's talking about, that does zero research and just starts yelling shit. Love this guy. Yeah, get on your knees for him. Keep giving him Handra Jacksons while you're being robbed, mathematically being robbed. Keep giving him a Handra Jackson. That's what I would do too. Don't ever show up here with no facts. How embarrassing. Trisha, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. She said, grift away, hottie baddie. This is my opinion. This free market capitalism, stupid white men who follow Trump, they don't even understand what they're supposed to support. You are witnessing something that if you are a Republican, you should be supporting, right? This is a marketplace. This is techno-feudalism, right? This is a marketplace where I am just saying, hey, here's my product. If you like it, you can tip me. That's free market capitalism. And when I say techno-feudalism, I mean because, and here you go, because I know, Atticus, you're still lurking somewhere in the shadows. Learn something from someone who knows something. Techno-feudalism, what I mean is marketplaces in original capitalism were like the town square. Like if I showed up with a cart of apples, I'd sell my apples, take my profits, and go. But feudalism, right, is overlords taking chunks of profit, right? That's what we're doing, because even on this app, if someone gifts me or if someone subscribes, there's a percentage being taken by technological overlords, right? Tech billionaires that own these companies and the shareholders. That's what I mean by techno-feudalism. But this is your dream, not mine. I don't want to live this way. This is how you want to live. So don't show up here while your brain does not work. You have no idea who I am and what I do, and then tell me about myself. Anyways, but I digress. Sorry, I've been off the... Do you guys see what I'm saying? I haven't even been online in a week and 2 days, and a mediocre white man's like, "Oh, I gotta tell her something about herself. Don't know who she is. Better just come up there and make up some bullshit." Yeah, like, it's nice to know none of you have read in the week and 2 days I've been gone. Amazing. Like, we are in a hellscape that never ends. Sorry. I've been doing a lot of thinking and reading. I actually educate myself when I'm not around. I've learned so many things since I was last here. Sorry, I'm just gonna, again, prior to that idiot talking to me, I was telling everyone, wait, sorry, I thought I got a copyright violation on YouTube. I didn't. Actually, it was a nice email. I get really panicked about YouTube copyright violations, or not a joke. Okay, so I was talking about Gavin Newsom and this account we all need to follow. I just want to give you some examples. So Trump just writes words that don't make any sense now. This is how delusional he is. But me, a person who, like, one of my brain is worth 1,000 of Donald Trump's, that I have to hear from mediocre white men who are giving Trump Andrew Jacksons while he grifts and robs them, that something's wrong with my brain. But look at this. Donald Tiny Hands has written his autobiography this morning. Unfortunately, low IQ, he spelled it wrong. Beta. Soon you will be a fired beta because of my perfect, beautiful maps. Thank you for your attention to this matter. My favorite thing is how every Democrats now, every time they speak, they just are like, "Thank you for your attention to this matter." It's hilarious to watch. Oh, Santana Raid, thank you so much. You guys missed me just going off on someone. I'm sorry you missed it. This is my other favorite post from the Gavin Newsom press office account. Do you remember when Trump started posting all this weird shit? Gavin Newsom just started posting this stuff too. He's like, "Why doesn't anyone want to debate you? You're just grifting." Yeah, I don't debate on this show, weirdo. Sorry. Hi, Santana Raid. Sorry, I'm still not over that idiot. And you know what else is weird? That guy that came up here, Atticus or whoever it was, he has 84,000 followers. My guess is you bought those. How? Because the smartest people, because I do debate real people, Atticus, on the right, and some of the smartest people I've ever met on the right don't have that many followers. So I don't know who you are. I do feel like I know most of the people on the right whose brains work. So you're just some guy who showed up from somewhere. Oh yeah, that's what I'm implying, Florida leftist. I'm implying what you were saying. I'm just not going to say it out loud. That's exactly what I'm implying. But anyways, make sure you follow the Gavin. It's at GOV press office, because like Gavin Newsom trolling Trump across the internet is absolutely amazing. No, not sorry. You just nailed it. I just didn't want to say it out loud. You wrote it, so I could just say, like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to imply, but I'm not saying it. And also, if you have 84,000 followers on TikTok and you're on the right, you must have some idea of who I am. You just came up here and that was not smart. That's not something anyone who I respect on the right would do. There are people on the right whose brains work. That's not one of them. Anyway, moving along. I was going to go through some things that are annoying me, but I just don't think I need to get to the crux of this stuff. I first want to get into this. So Crazy Crazerton is talking about gerrymandering elections, right? We know this. This was from this morning at this morning as in 3 a.m. So in a crazed early morning screed, which love Aaron Root. This is my favorite independent journalist, one of them. I love his vocab. As a former teacher, I'm so into vocab. The president announces, I'm going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots, which is ironic because Trump begged everyone to vote however they could, mail-in or however, right before he was elected. Remember that? Just vote one more time, mail-in ballot, absentee, however. You just have to vote one more time. As someone who's watched every Trump rally of all time, the only thing I remember is Donald Trump being like, however you vote, just vote. And also, while we're at it, highly inaccurate, very expensive and seriously controversial voting machines. Now, because I know MAGA can't read, and I talked about this before I had to hang out with my sister for a week, I want to get this right. Sorry, it escapes me. I can barely remember 2 weeks ago. But remember when I didn't sleep one night because I was like, I'm going to read every single piece of paper that Tulsi Gabbard says implicates Obama in a conspiracy, and I stayed up and read them all. They don't. But what do those papers say? Actually, it talks about the security of our elections. There's many more bipartisan government primary source documents that have been put out by Republicans while Trump was in presidency talking about the safety and security of our elections. But I think it's funny that Tulsi Gabbard would put out 60 pages literally talking about the safety and security of cyber elections, and then somehow now when it's convenient, right? Because remember, they put out pages saying, oh, here's how we know our elections are secure, which I know because I've read the research papers. I know voting machines are secure. I know they've never been compromised. So this is how dumb Donald Trump truly believes MAGA is, which they are. I mean, truly, they don't read. He's like, oh, read all this. Well, former historical researcher read it. And what it's talking about is the safety and security of our cyber elections and how they know that no voting machines have ever been penetrated, that our votes are safe. And literally 2.5 weeks later, they're like, voting machines aren't safe. Which one thing is it? Are they they're safe when you want to implicate Obama in some sort of weird conspiracy, and they're not safe when you meet with Putin and are trying to get him to help you take over this country and do away with democracy? It can't be both. Can't be both. They're either safe or not. You were going to try Obama for treason, and the first 100 pages are about how no voting machines have ever been penetrated or broken into. And 2 weeks later, they're not safe anymore. This man is an idiot. Truly. Understand that 2 weeks ago, he was going to try Obama for treason. And the evidence he said everyone should read was about how safe voting machines are and how they've never been penetrated. And today, voting machines aren't safe, so he can gerrymander out of the midterms. And let me just tell you something. If you can win an election, you don't do any of this. You don't redistrict Texas. You don't send out messages that we all have to Arkansas, telling them to gerrymander their maps. You do none of this if you can win outright. Nobody has had worse to date, this is the honeymoon period of a presidency. Trump is underwater in every category, including immigration now, with everyone but Republicans, which unfortunately you do need independents to win an election, and they hate Donald Trump. So anyways, Trump's basically just saying, I'm going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots, and also while we're at it, highly inaccurate, very expensive, and seriously controversial voting machines, which again, he released 160 pages confirming that our elections are safe and secure and no voting machines have ever been compromised. If you have a memory, which I think if you are in MAGA, you can't read, can't do math, and you have to like do a hard reset of your brain every 24 hours, or there's no way that any of this could make sense. I mean, you just got to dump everything you knew before. Donald Trump started out saying the voting machines were shady when he was trying to distract from the fact he's all up in the Epstein files. He's going to try Obama for treason, releases 160 pages that talk about the safety of cyber elections in America. And now we're back to voting machines, spooky and bad. The reason that Fox had to pay $780 something million, almost $1 billion to Dominion voting machines is because no voting machines have ever been compromised. They haven't. And they tried to ruin their brand, made up a bunch of lies, and then they had to pay Dominion voting machines. They're going to have to pay Smartmatic. Mike Lindell, the pillow weirdo, is about to go bankrupt because of all the lies. You can read Trump's ramblings if you want, but I will just have Brian Baez explain it.
Donald Trump just said he's going to sign an executive order to end voting as we know it. He posted on his Truth Social, I'm going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots and also, while we're at it, highly inaccurate, very expensive, and seriously controversial voting machines by signing an executive order to help bring honesty to the 2026 midterm election. You got to understand, the reason why he's coming after voting machines and mail-in ballots at this time is not because there's massive voter fraud or any activity that can happen with mail-in ballots, because his ass voted by mail-in ballot in the 2020 election. Realty is why he's doing this in the first place is because Texas right now is failing. He wants to pressure Governor Greg Abbott from Texas to redistrict and create new political maps so that they can eliminate Democratic seats. The problem with that is that the Texas Democrats left the state, and for the 6th time, the Republicans in the Texas House could not pass quorum, which means they couldn't even bring those political maps to a fucking vote. Not only that, but we got Governor Gavin Christopher Newsom over there in California saying, fuck you bitches. I need to redistrict all 52 congressional districts here in California. That's exactly what the fuck we're gonna do. And eliminate all you motherfucking Republican seats. Because if you look at the statistics, Democrats vote more by mail-in ballot. In the 2020 election, 58% of Democrats voted by mail compared to 29% of Republicans. They will rig this shit at all costs because that's the only way that they can win. Donald Trump just said he's going to sign an
Amen. Could not agree more. And like, this is the thing. I can take us through minute by minute, Trump getting on his knees and giving Putin a BJ and 2 Andrew Jacksons all at once, but I think this is what we need to be concerned with, right? Like, everything Trump does, Trump was supposed to end the Ukraine war on the first day. Trump works for Daddy Putin, gives him BJ, meets him all around the world to give him Andrew Jacksons whenever he demands it, and continues carrying water for him while blaming Zelensky for it. But this is what we need to be concerned about. Trump is literally gerrymandering this country while we all watch. Now, a winner does not cheat. Trump is a prolific cheater. I just want to say, super chats. I missed you too, Maxwell. Welcome back. Great. Missed you. I missed you. You guys don't even know. Big A, I've been looking for you on TikTok. Glad you are okay. Thank you so much. I am okay. I had to spend a week with my far right evangelical family, but I love my nieces and nephews. They're amazing, but it's hard to be around my family. And I always say this: I actually was raised by a malignant narcissist who is intelligent. Like, Trump is not smart. Like, let me just draw this comparison, because when I was watching Trump and Putin, I was like, my mother is Putin, right? Trump is like this idiot that has blind narcissism. Now, remember, narcissism develops in early childhood development, because I used just for child psych lessons. No one's like, hey, I'm going to be a narcissist. It's not a choice, right? And I want to be clear. I'm not talking about narcissistic traits. I'm talking about narcissistic personality disorder. Two very different things. And the worst thing that's ever happened on the internet is everyone be convinced they know a narcissist, have met a narcissist. It's a very low percentage of people that actually have narcissistic personality disorder. The main thing is you lack effective empathy. Like, that's how I would describe it. Like, my father, not a great guy, but I can when he I can feel that he can, I can feel that he cares about me. It's almost like a hollowness with people with narcissistic personality disorder. Lights on, no one's home. We are all pawns to them that they believe they're moving around a board. But if you're a dumb narcissist, which is what Trump is, Trump believes he is God, right? That's the characteristic. Understand, you are in such adverse conditions, bad conditions, early childhood development, your primary attachment, which is mother, is being interrupted. So you are not self-actualizing. You're not able to self-actualize and become an individual. You are facing constant abuse or interruptions in self-actualization. And narcissistic personality disorder, it is a defense. It is a set of survival skills of saying, this environment, I cannot survive it. I'm not prepared for this. So in order to survive, I'm God. I'm God, and no one can hurt me anymore. That is what narcissistic personality disorder is. And it develops very, very early. And you can modify behavior of narcissists, but you can't change them. They can't grow effective empathy. So if you're a dumb narcissist, that's a very dangerous thing. Like, that is what Trump is, a dumb narcissist. Like, understand that. And I'm not talking about your boyfriend you believe is, I'm talking about narcissistic personality disorder, malignant narcissists, right? When psychiatrists and psychologists were at the Nuremberg trials diagnosing the schmazzies before they got their sentences. That's what they were diagnosed with, malignant narcissism, right? It is the holy trinity of its Machiavellianism, its sadism, and narcissism packaged into one, right? It's a defense against a defense against a defense. But what I would say is Putin reminds me of my mommy dearest, and Trump's an idiot, right? Being played by a fiddle who's like, nailed it, like gets on a plane after literally on TV getting on his knees for someone else and giving him a Andrew Jackson is like, nailed it. Like, did not nail it. You are a literal idiot who's embarrassing us all, and someone should really do something about it. Like, truly. Like, I'm not even going to say, I almost said something not great, but I just want to remind everyone, this was 4 days ago before Trump got on his knees in Alaska while we all watched. This was August 13th.
Will Russia face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
there will be
be? Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences, yes. Yeah, please.
Will Russia face any
I'm sorry I have to interrupt my line of logic for an idiot, but I invited you up here, Cutlass of Steel. What an embarrassing name for you. I invited you up here. It's strange you're not up here. If you want to challenge my intellect and prove anything I said wrong, I don't let people come up here, but now's your chance to come up here and say something of substance. It's strange you're not up here, though. It's super strange. But I just want to remind everyone, this is not say dumb things in the chat. If you say them, I'm going to either block you forever or for the entire live. Like, this is people who have brains, we gather together and we learn things. This is not dumbass idiots who have no idea, who are on their knees for Trump, who's on his knees for Putin, in some sort of weird centipede type remake, trying to tell me that my brain doesn't work. Like, if you say dumb thing, like MAG always likes to say on their dumb lives, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Nobody cares. And Cutlass, why aren't you up here? I thought you were going to tell us something that meant something. I don't know what I'm talking. Why don't you get up here? It's so strange that none of these people want to say something of substance. Again, this is not, hey, I'm an idiot and I just want to say something time. Yeah, they're terrified. Of course they are, because they're idiots. You cannot read or do math. You are defending a man who mathematically has robbed you, robbed your children, and robbed your children's children of their future. I'm just talking about financially. I could get into many other categories. And you're telling me that I don't know what's going on? Learn to add. Learn math. Learn to read, and then come back here with some information. Be like, oh, I looked into it. That's pretty concerning. I have been robbed.
You know that paper is more sophisticated.
Don't come. And again, mods, whoever's in here, just put these people on 5-minute timeouts. I don't have time to embarrass all the idiots today, because truly, we have to get somewhere today. And the idiocy is never ending. But 4 days ago, Trump said this, that there would be consequences if Putin didn't reach a ceasefire. Was the consequence Andrew Jackson while we all watched? Was the consequence you getting on your knees while you reached a new level of orange? By the way, I didn't know Trump could become that orange. I mean, like, he's reached a new level. The guy that says men shouldn't wear makeup but continues to do drag every single day, and horrible drag. I'm sorry, drag community. I actually respect you. I love drag. I shouldn't be saying things like that, and I shouldn't compare what Trump is doing to drag. It's an insult to the drag community, and I apologize. I'm just giving the example. How do you turn? Sorry, I keep having all of these co-host things pop ups. Sorry, I'm going to have to turn off invites to ghosts, because I just had like 27 pop up. Yeah, don't try to co-host with me, because I can't do it right now. I got shit to do. I haven't been live in a week and a half. By the way, we should be at 150 taps. I know it's been a week and a half, but let's keep tapping the screen. Let's share the live, that arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. Let's get some more people in here. Again, mods, just put people on like 5-minute timeouts, and if someone's being super bad, I'm sure I'll notice it, but I really don't have time. Oh, my ex-boyfriend just texted me. I wonder if he's in this live. Jeez, I used to date a baseball player for like 10 years. He's probably watching me right now. No, I don't want to date you anymore. That's another story for another time. Okay. So anyways, 4 days ago, Putin's like, yeah, if I show up in Alaska and Putin doesn't give me what I want, I'm going to be mad and I'm going to do something. This was on the plane on the way to Alaska.
President Twitter.
The first thing was correct, that he wouldn't do anything, because that's what he did. And I just want to be clear, every single word, because MAGA needs to hear this. The idiots that show up in my comments and accuse me of not knowing what's going on, every single word Trump just said is demonstrably false. anything. You're on a supercomputer telling me that my brain doesn't work. A simple Google search of every statement Trump just made would yield the fact that it is all lies. Not one word of that is correct. Here, let me play it one more time. Good idea. And let's keep tapping the screen. Tap, tap, tap. If you would like to support me, this is my Cash App and Venmo, and I'm going to reset my gift goals. But again, this is Trump on the way to seeing Putin be... Oh, wait. Remember, it shocked me. Another thing I just want to point out is I heard someone be like, well, Trump's a great leader. Like, they gifted him a plane. Yeah, a plane that we had to spend $34 million to date to outfit and make secure. We're spending $1 billion of our money. Like, we have saved $0. Trump has spent and spent and spent, just like he did in his first term. But again, you have to be able to do math or read. You have a supercomputer. Just ask AI questions. They can help you.
Okay, in the office with President Trump on Air Force One, heading in. What's your initial feeling? How are you feeling about what you're going to get out of this?
I think we're going to do very well. Our country is doing very well. We're setting records economically like we never have before, including the stock markets are all at a record high. We're taking in trillions and trillions of dollars with tariffs. We're going for a meeting with President Putin in Alaska. And I think it's going to work out very well. And if it doesn't, I'm going to head back home real fast.
I mean, if it doesn't, you walk.
I would walk too.
Because he didn't say that. Yeehaw. Thank you for the hat. Notice he didn't say he would walk. Brett Byers like, but then you would like hold strong. Like he's like, no, I'd get on my knees and blow him in front of all of you, which is what we unfortunately had to watch, which continued today. Like I have never seen. Hi, Joby. Joby, thank you for extending your subscription. I think someone told me in the comments, by the way, and I'm so sorry I couldn't remember. I was reading a bunch of weird people. Someone said they subscribed to me, and I saw that someone subscribed to me like when I wasn't live. So thank you. I always try to thank people who subscribe or whatever. I do appreciate it. Like, and if I ever miss anything, it is not intentional. Like I always want to thank people who support me. It's important. So again, I just want to make sure I get the time right. Last night, 6:20 my time, so 9:20 Eastern, Trump announces that Ukraine will not get Crimea back, right? Which this is what he agreed to while he was blowing Putin in Alaska, was to not getting Crimea back and all this other stuff. President Zelensky of Ukraine, remember this? Day one, he would end the war. Now Trump's news story is, especially after watching Zelensky here today, is we don't need a ceasefire. What? We don't need it. Oh, so we're just going to allow Putin to continue unaliving people? Your daddy told you no, and now you're trying to still act like you're a man? Yeah, we got it. We've seen it for years. I just want to point this out. This is real, and I love Ann Applebaum. I would suggest following her. She is one of the I think she's, God, is she editor a lot? She's an editor, I think, at The Atlantic, and a famous journalist. I don't know if she's an editor at The Atlantic or a journalist, but she's both. She's a very famous journalist who's brilliant. This is real, right? Trump went and met with Putin. Putin is now attacking Ukraine while flying U.S. and Russian flags. He is attacking Ukraine in the name of the United States now. This is real. From the Telegram channel of RT, which, MAGA has no idea what anything means because they couldn't do research to save their lives. That is Russian media. Just know, MAGA, which my favorite thing about Russian media is how dumb they think you all are. Like, what they spend a lot of time doing is mocking Trump's followers and how dumb they are. They mock you guys 24 hours a day. They're just like, they're all too stupid to figure out what's going on before we conquer them. Russian state. So from the Telegram channel of RT, Russian state propaganda, Russian military vehicle assaulting Ukraine under two flags. What is the American flag? One is the Russian flag. This is Russia's interpretation of how the
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants.
Someone said they were joking Trump's going to give Alaska back. They're not joking about that. They're not kidding. They're not joking about Trump giving Alaska back. I just want to point this out because you know how I love numbers and words because it's something that escapes MAGA men who come in here and say dumb things all the time. Just to be clear, remember, no one would ever dare attack me. I'm Donald Trump. I'm scary. I have makeup on all the time and I'm dragging one leg upstairs and I have weird growths on my hands and I can't remember what I'm talking about while I'm talking about and I can't read. I can't do math. I have no knowledge of foreign policy or the economy. I think everything is a real estate deal, and I'm even bad at real estate. That's the guy you guys worship, who just got on his knees for Putin in Alaska. I just want to be clear, like when math comes in, nobody respects Trump, especially not Putin. Putin has attacked Ukraine twice as much since Trump's been in office.
You know that paper is more sophisticated.
Screen for our viewers. It shows that Russian attacks on Ukraine have nearly doubled since President Trump came into office. And in fact, in July, Russia launched more than 6,000 missiles and drones. That's the highest amount of attacks since the war began. On the screen for our viewers.
That's what I do when I'm scared of men in makeup. No new wars, Trump. They're all too scared to do anything. That guy. This is actual numbers. This is what I'm telling you, MAGA. When Putin stands up in Alaska and goes, yeah, the war in Ukraine never would have happened if Donald Trump was elected in 2020. That is an example of how dumb you are, if that makes sense. Putin elected Donald Trump. That's what he wanted. And now he's doing anything he feels like while Trump's on his knees for him. And the fact none of you can figure that out, I am scared for you. Again, you're on a supercomputer right now. You can do some basic Google searches. No, yeah, that's how I know that. Who said that exactly? Yeah, like the point is yes, if you believe Putin wouldn't have invaded or whatever, yeah, the war's been going on much longer than that. And Putin himself, does anyone remember when Tucker Carlson went to Russia and almost never came back and interviewed Putin? I know none of you actually listened to the translation. You guys can't figure out what anything means. But I did. I listened to Putin rail on. And you know what Putin did for 4 hours? It might have been fine. He detailed how long this war goes back. And let me tell you, it didn't start with if Biden wasn't president in 2020. He took it back to like 800, literally AD, and was like, here's why we're doing this. So if you are dumb enough to believe that if Biden didn't get elected, that Putin wouldn't have done this. I mean, he said the opposite over and over and over. We can't help you if your brain doesn't work. Oh, I do love this. Again, this is another Brian Bayat's post. If you want to follow him, it's at Mentally Divine. He's on TikTok. You don't have to go on X. I just hang out on X because I got to keep an eye on these people. But I thought it was hilarious, this post he made. And the beginning, I think he makes some really good points. But again, it's at Mentally Divine. His name's Brian Baez. It's hilarious and informative. I like the way his mind works.
Gavin Christopher Newsom just called Donald Trump a beta male. Here's the story. Donald Trump made our military get on their hands and knees to roll out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin on Friday. Donald Trump got out of Air Force One early to stand at the end of the red carpet to wait and clap for Vladimir Putin.
How weird that is? Do you know how that never happens? And it wasn't just waiting. He was out there for like 2 minutes, like a dog who saw their owner in the window and was like, Daddy's home. That on U.S. soil. That has never happened before.
And he let Vladimir Putin onto the beast, which is the motorcade for the president of the United States. By the way, a lot of people don't know this, but Vladimir Putin, before he became president of Russia, was KGB, the Committee for State Security of Russia. Think of it like the CIA for Russia. And it
wasn't just KGB. He was the director of the KGB. This is why they call him poisoner in chief.
roles are multifaceted, but essentially they do foreign intelligence, domestic security, counterintelligence, and border security. They're basically fucking spies. What the fuck could possibly go wrong when a former spy and the president of the country that's our biggest fucking enemy in the entire world gets in the United States presidential limousine and potentially slips a bug in to hear every single piece of conversation that happens inside the fucking beast? The same limo where the president gets very sensitive briefings and information for our country's security. Then we find out the real reason why Donald Trump wanted to meet with Vladimir Putin in the fucking first place. He wanted this fucking photo op. He staged this photo with Vladimir Putin to convince his dumbass base that he was strong-arming Vladimir Putin into a deal. But the truth is, there was no deal and there was no consequence for Putin literally attacking our ally, which was Ukraine. Trump fucking failed, and guess what? California Governor Gavin Newsom took this photo and quote tweeted it and put this one up and said, "Tiny Hands is out here copying me, but without the stamina, sad, and certainly without the looks, total beta, GCN." And Gavin said, "Trump just fled the podium with Putin, no questions, nothing, total low energy. The man looked like he'd just eaten 3 buckets of KFC with Vlad. Is he afraid the press will ask about me? America's favorite governor, and the fact that I stole the cameras this week with the maps, many people are saying he begged Putin to hold his hands, tiny, on the way out. Admit it, Donnie J, you're terrified because this week was the worst week of your life because of me, Gavin Christopher Newsom. The maps will end your presidency, retake Congress for the people, and expose your rigged little game. My perfect maps are more beautiful than anything in Trump Tower, which many say smells weird." Even Chung 47 explained this disaster. "Enjoy your flight home, Donald. You're Putin's problem now. I'm America's solution. Gavin Christopher Newsom." Bitch. Gavin Christopher Newsom just called Donald Trump a beta male.
So true, though. I mean, who cowers? I mean, I guess if he has so much stuff on you, sorry. I was just running a statistical analysis. I would suggest if anyone thinks that Donald Trump's, I mean, for the idiot MAGAs who can't run a statistical analysis on Biden's last 2 years in office and Trump's second term to date of a stock market performance, if you if you need to be disabused of the notion that Trump is better for the stock market. Jennifer, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Missed you so much. And also, I just saw your comment in the chat. Thank you. No stepdad jokes today. Here's my actual info. If you ever needed an anonymous mom to vent to, keep fighting the good fight and pissing off the haters. I'm not going to read your name or your real phone number, but yeah, I might take you up on that because it's hard living online. Oh, and here's the best part. Do you guys remember, we got Signal chat. Now it came out those documents were in fact classified, just like Seth Moulton said they were. This is what happens when you hire inexperienced people. By the way, all of the schedule and important documents around the Alaska trip were found in a hotel room by different people who checked into hotel rooms after Trump's team left. They left all of the information and documents in the hotel rooms or on printers, and then people were like, here, I found these. This is the article. If you want to read it, they basically just put out the schedule and play-by-play in this article. This is how dumb Trump and his people are. Yeah, do just leave all your plans behind. It's lunch was canceled. If you want to know the actual schedule and everything that was going on, yeah, don't worry. Trump's idiot staff left it on a printer for random guests to find and turn it in an NPR. I was going to read all this, but then based on how many other things I have to get to today, I would just suggest screenshotting this article. It's NPR called "Government Papers Found in an Alaskan Hotel Review New Details of Trump-Putin Summit." Yeah, I mean, they're not the brightest bulbs in the bulb store. Now, let's just do this because I think it's important to really paint a picture of how pathetic Donald Trump is and how long he was on his knees for Putin. I mean, it wasn't just one time, it was several times, but on US soil, this would never happen. But let me just be clear. This is Trump standing there like a weirdo.
You know that paper is more sophisticated now than computers. You know that paper is more sophisticated now than computers.